What's going on?
Hello?
What's going on?
Hey.
What's going on?
Hey.
What's going on?
Hey.
Okay, I'm done.
Okay.
What's going on, y'all?
I don't hear you.
Can you hear me? I can hear you.
I don't hear you.
Oh my goodness, let's make sure that we're heard. That's of utmost importance. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Oh, now we rocking and rolling. Hey, now we rocking and rolling. Hey. First of all, best friend, I love the hair, boo.
Thank you.
You look cute or whatever. Yes, shimmer God. Yes, shimmer God. Best friend, you look good.
Thanks.
So guys, for those of you that don't know, my best friend has a birthday coming up.
Yay.
One time for the birthday bitch. Two times for the birthday bitch. Three times for the
February 11th.
She's going to be
Aquarius.
25
Hashtag
on
Aquarius.
February 11th.
Hashtag this is 25.
Yeah, she's 25.
Yeah. Why not?
No, absolutely. I mean, you don't look a day over, so why would I take that from you?
You're absolutely right.
You don't look a day over, but I love the hair.
Thank you.
I do. That
Colored
red.
by
I was gonna
Colorful
ask you.
Irish.
Who?
Yes, Colorful Irish.
Girl,
Or-
this is intense.
Is it Colorful Irish?
I love
Let me
this
check your name
red.
right.
It is so hard to find this vibrant type of red.
Yeah, Sam did it. I mean, she took me out of my comfort zone. I picked her up and asked her to come to the beauty
That's
salon
really-
with me.
that looks really
beauty,
good.
Beauty supply store. Cause I'm like, I'm not buying color by myself.
Right.
I'm not well versed in this. I don't
Yeah.
care what you tell me. It's
Yeah,
gonna be messed up. So yeah, picked her up.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna do my usual blonde, you know.
Yeah. You've been
And
doing
she
that
was
for
like,
years.
no. Well, I did say to her, I was like, I was gonna do my usual, but what do you think?
Right.
You know.
I like that. I
And
like
I let
people that
her-
are willing to consult. Because, we're not the subject matter experts. That's why we're coming to
Exactly.
you. So
She
it's
knows more than
appreciative if you can just, sometimes take the lead.
Yeah.
Take the hint that we need you to help us.
Yeah, yeah.
So she did that, and she absolutely nailed it.
She nailed it.
That color is dope.
Yeah,
It looks good on you.
I love it. In fact,
Are
that
you going to be a whore this
now-
weekend?
Huh?
Are you going to be a whore this weekend, or have whorish ways this weekend? I mean, I think you should. It's your birthday. You're supposed to just whore
Well,
out.
We'll see.
We'll be talking about it next week.
Going
Some of it.
down. It's going down.
Hey, it's going down. It's going down.
It's
I
going
know it
down.
is. I
Yeah.
know it is. You know what? We did it again.
Oh, and remember, we're not cursing this episode.
Oh,
This is the non-cursing episode.
have we cursed yet?
I mean, does horror count?
Oh, I don't know.
That's why I was being. That's why I was making such an effort with my response, because I wanted to make sure I didn't curse.
I was wondering why you didn't cuss me out. It makes sense. Okay. So yes, we committed to episode 6 to not cursing. So I'm going to have to slow down because it's very easy for me to just use the expletive. But this show, because my bestie asked for it and for good cause, we're not going to cuss. Maybe we need to introduce ourselves. We keep doing this. We start, we get into
are we
our
starting for real right now?
conversation.
Okay, that's what we're doing.
And we don't. Yeah, what you mean that's what we're doing? Oh my God.
Oh.
What's going on, guys? It's your girl Jodie and my bestie.
Hey,
What's your name?
Wendy.
Wendy. And this is Podcast These Nuts. Wendy, be present, nigga. Where you at? You texted
First
your
of all,
DOD?
you weren't supposed to start, so you just happened to just start. So don't talk about be present. I told you what I was doing, which was looking for Sam's proper IG handle. That's what I told you.
I forgot I wasn't paying attention.
Clearly, so don't come at me like that. Is what I'm saying. Thank you.
Why you had to embarrass me though?
No, you tried to embarrass
You're
me.
right. I did. You're right. I did. I take ownership. I take ownership.
Glad you did.
You got me together, and I needed that. You're right. I came for you.
Yeah.
And on your birthday week.
Right.
Yeah, I shouldn't have done
Yeah,
that.
it's just like,
I
I'm
was
like,
wrong.
why y'all want to get cursed out?
I was
So,
I was wrong.
my
Because
DOD
now that I
came to the
think
house and
about
was
it-
asking me all these
Who?
questions. the DOD was like,
Oh, the DOD.
so what are you doing for your birthday? I said, whoa,
Wow.
whoa, slow down.
Pause.
I said, pause. I don't want to hate you.
Oh, wow.
Do not make me cry.
Wow.
Okay, I will curse you out.
Whoa.
Like I gotta do Jodie and show, because they like to hurt me. Don't start with me. You know what we're doing. I sent you an itinerary, okay? And via email and WhatsApp.
I think you got baited. You don't think you got baited? I think you
I said,
did.
nigga, I told you to block off your calendar. Don't start with me. Don't ask me questions that provoke me.
I think you got baited.
Y'all know. Yes.
He baited you. He knew you were going to cut up.
I don't.
Did you guys fuck after that conversation? I know your ass.
Oh, God.
I know you. You love that. You love that. You love when they man you up.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
So,
why are we here? So, first of all, last week's episode, speaking of DODs, was
I didn't say that.
well, actually, I like this DOD, but yeah, we were discussing niggas ain't shit but hoes and tricks. That was a really good conversation,
Yeah,
bitch. You were passionate.
Yes,
Yes.
because it hurts to
Yeah.
be cheated on.
Yeah.
Even though you know the issue's not with you and it's with the other person, it's still annoying.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like you're disrespectful,
Right.
and it's much.
Well, I learned that I'm a heartless bitch.
You are.
Yeah.
You're a cheating whore. What else? You just cursed.
Oh
So can we just start over?
no.
You're gonna bleep that out.
Yeah.
Like,
I also learned about myself that I really don't care. I realized that I probably have some issues that I need to address, because I really have no emotions when it comes to my actions.
like you said, you just wanted to bust a nut. That's all it was
Yeah,
about. So,
I really, but I think I do want to become a little bit
That's
more
what she
sensitive
said.
for 2019.
yeah, I mean, you just don't cheat. I mean, that's simple.
I've been.
I
pretty
mean,
good.
Obviously you're not, but I'm just saying
I'm pretty
that's though it was related to that.
Yeah, but I think I want to also just research a little more why I did it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? That's something that I learned, I think, from
that's
last
part of
week.
healing.
Yeah, figure out why I did it. Anyway, so it was a really great discussion. Our weight loss, how we doing?
Doing good. Went down another pound. However, I'm starting something new. So, like I said, I wasn't going to do too much today because I'm changing things up a little bit. I'm just going to leave it at that for now.
Oh, you're not going to talk about it yet?
Not yet. I wanted to give it at least.
Bitch,
I'm only on day 2.5. Okay, so yeah.
Test again. I just want to say that this hair on your pink robe, you're giving me MTV reality show right now.
It could.
Yeah, it looks really hot. Anyway. Okay, so me, I am 17 pounds down officially.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I'm on the Carothin diet. Spoke about it a little bit before. You do reduce your calories drastically, your consumption, but the food actually is really good. You actually have quite a bit of selection as well where you can eat. When you do eat, you feel full. And you take it along with some drops. It is medically supervised, but it's working for me. This week, I think, was more of inches for me than pounds. And I think when we talked about this with the HCG, the similarities where you find that there'll be some times where you see yourself shrinking, but you don't see as much on the scale.
Right.
I think that this was...
and that's why I did the same thing. I measured myself because now I've been working out a minimum of 4 times a week for the last 3 weeks. Yeah. So I was like, okay, all right, a pound, all right. Right. But I am working out heavy and I am using weights. True.
And muscle wears more than fat. So,
so that's why I didn't freak out because at least I'm, progress is still.
Yeah. And I think you're making better choices with food. Sounds like you're making better choices with food.
Yeah.
Hello, why this really has you keeping on track.
I love her food. Yeah. It definitely makes things easier. And at this point, I have no choice because my kitchen is being remodeled.
Right. When is that going to be done? When is that going to be done?
It's almost done. Like the cabinets are pretty much up. Right now, it's just I'm going to pick up the microwave tomorrow. I just ordered the faucet on Amazon. But that's what took me so long to get here because I wanted to make sure I ordered those things. So the next thing that's left at this point well, actually, countertops are in. It's just the granite. The cabinets are in. It's just the granite.
I'm so excited for you,
So
Fred.
he wanted the microwave to do some final measurements before granite. So I was like, all right, I'll go get that.
Yeah, I'm so happy for you.
Yeah, me too.
Like, your house has transformed.
Yeah.
You've been doing your thing.
I mean, we pretty much did we did every room in the house.
Yeah.
Every room in the house.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now
and you got top of the line stuff, you know what I mean? Like, you took the effort and you took the time and you invested. So it's not what you kind of wanted. It exactly is what you wanted.
Yeah,
you know,
it's really nice.
And it looks good. I'm proud of you. High
Thank
five.
you.
You did good.
Thank you.
All right. So weight loss, exercising, and you're doing well. We're talking about the house. So what are we talking about today?
Sexual abuse.
Yeah, we are.
That's heavy.
Can I tell you I was a little bit nervous? Because I know that I'm going to be sharing some things and talking about some things, and I was a little bit nervous. I just never know how I'm going to react to talking about it, but I'm here. I'm doing it. So
yeah, it's a tough subject.
Yeah.
Like, I can't even imagine what it is.
Yeah.
Sorry, I keep touching my nose because like my sinuses are killing me right now. Like, my nose is beyond stuffed. Like, my eardrums are stuffed.
Why do you always get sick around your birthday? You ever notice?
Because the weather.
You're right.
Weather change.
You're right.
Jasim is sick. He stayed home from school today.
Yeah.
You know, so not only is it in the air, I'm already, this happens.
Yeah.
So, sorry.
It's okay.
Is what I meant to say. It's like,
okay, friend.
But yeah, this subject
you still
is
look cute.
Oh, you too.
Thank you.
This is a difficult subject.
Yeah, it is.
Definitely sharing a lot.
Yeah.
You know, and of course, as usual, wanting to, get down to the root of what's going on.
Yeah.
Or what happened.
Yeah.
And the impact that it had.
Yeah. How it's impacting us as adults now. What are we doing to ensure that it doesn't happen to our children? We're going to be talking definitely also about, men being sexually abused and why it's so difficult for them to talk about it. So we said we're going to just kind of start out with, me sharing a little bit of something about myself that I don't think I've ever really talked about before.
Are you ready? Or do you want to start?
Yeah. Let's just
warm it up a little bit. So
warm it up.
A couple of weeks ago, we went to an event.
We did.
And that event was about sexual abuse.
It was.
It was about women in the community that have been abused, particularly Black women, talking about their experiences. They also, in that same venue, talked about the whole R. Kelly situation, which of course was it's controversial.
Very
there's so many people. There's people on both sides of it. It's not one-sided. In that there's people who still support him. Yeah. There's a lot, They've also talked about...
There are women that are actually still saying, and a lot of people that are actually still blaming the girls.
That was the next thing.
Yeah, a lot of them people are still actually blaming the girls. Women are actually blaming the girls.
Yeah. Talking about
publicly.
Promiscuity, that these girls called it upon themselves because...
They wanted it.
And that's one of the... many reasons why victims do not come forward because of the victim blaming. Yeah. I know I was really one side or extreme when I said this to you the other day, that I should be able to go outside butt ass naked. Nobody should touch me. Just do not touch. You don't have the right to touch me. Period. I don't give a... I could be walking down the street butt ass. Oh, I said we wasn't going to curse.
I don't know why you went. It's not who we are. Let's embrace who the fuck we are.
Clearly.
Because we fucking cuss.
Sorry, guys. I tried.
Sorry. All right.
I just won't curse a lot.
A for effort. A for effort.
We tried. You remember we put it in WhatsApp? Well, you did. Well, when I made the suggestion not to curse on this episode, and she said, well, this is what I've been wanting to do. I kept saying that, I want to work on not cursing as much, expanding my vocabulary. I'm reading books. I'm dedicating myself to reading one book per month, blah, blah, blah. I was like, pause. I'm I'm doing this for this episode. I don't give a fuck what you got going on in your life, but high five to you, sister. Do your thing, girl.
She said, do you, boo.
Do you, boo. That's not me.
Yeah.
It's like hers. Okay. Yeah. But I said, at least for one episode. Nothing to do with the title.
Yeah.
Or, or the subject matter. It was just an effort.
Yeah. Just trying to do something different. Whatever. I supported you. I did. I tried.
Clearly, we would need to make a concerted effort, and you would hear me speaking very slowly because then I have to think about every word.
Right.
And not just say what comes to my mind as I normally do.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't want to do that.
I don't want to do that.
It's awkward. Okay.
Yeah, so...
Went to the show. So, by the way, it was at this place called Gigi's Music Cafe.
Yes.
It's over in Sunrise, Florida.
Yes.
Absolutely amazing. Venue. Mm-hmm. The food. Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
We all had something different on the table. Tasted everyone. It was absolutely amazing. And you can tell that the people that were there, they come back regularly because of how much they love their food.
Yeah,
they don't even look at the menus anymore. They just say like, yeah, let me get the. So when you see regulars, that's a good thing. That means
we've been there at least once or twice.
Yeah,
it's a really nice restaurant.
Oh my God.
The food is amazing.
Yeah,
the food is absolutely
drinks
amazing.
Are great.
Okay,
great.
We'll put you back.
Yeah,
and it's house made wine. Like she makes her own wine.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, and it's amazing. Anyway, so you guys got to check it out. Gigi's Music Cafe in Sunrise, Florida. Mm-hmm. Every single night they have some sort of event or something going on. So you got to go to their website and see what it's about. Yeah,
so that's where we where we went to the event.
Yeah,
and it was pretty interesting. It was a really great night.
It was
night.
It was.
It was. I was actually part fundraiser as well.
Yes, it was. I was actually surprised at some of the things that people contributed. Like there was a lady in the audience that spoke of her husband abusing her daughter and like that whole
Haiti,
process in Haiti.
Her husband abusing her daughter right about 3 to 4 months after they got married, and she was totally devastated by the experience. So her question in that venue in that evening was, how does she get over the guilt? Because she said they've gotten help. They've talked to people.
She left the man.
She left her man. She still feels very guilty.
She does.
And I can't even imagine. I understand. I get it. I would most likely be the same way.
Yeah. And she knows why she feels guilty.
Yeah. You can't help it just because you brought that person around. Obviously, not with that intent. Obviously, you didn't see it,
right.
So you're not to blame. You're not at fault, but you can't help. You can't help but to feel that way. I would like to think, okay, pause. Because that Netflix series that just came out.
Hello. I'm sorry, Wendy. There are signs.
Tell me the name of that again. And there are. I'm not saying that there aren't.
Oh my goodness. Something in daylight. Yeah. Something in broad daylight.
Yeah.
The word.
That Netflix series.
Series. Something in broad daylight.
Where the girl was taken twice by the neighbor.
Was that Taken in Broad Daylight or something? Something like that. Yes. But
whatever it is. That.
You guys know what we were talking about.
Okay. And did you watch it?
Yes, I watched it. I was disgusted.
The way he manipulated the mother and father got the father
to jerk him off.
Had
his man thinking he was straight homosexual.
Hello.
And then had an affair with the mother.
You had the father jerk you off, kiss and feel up on the mother.
And then you fucking the youngest daughter.
Ooh, I shouldn't have said it like that. But that's what happened.
Yes. How the hell?
And had her convinced that they were some aliens. This was some sort of a mission.
That if she didn't get pregnant by a certain age,
right,
the world
these
and she believed it.
People are disgusting.
She believed it beyond.
There were signs. There were signs there, and it's. Of course, obviously, the point that you're making, it's important to pay attention. There's signs. There, it was very blatant. I don't know if it's always that blatant and always that in your face. That one in that particular Netflix series, in my opinion, was in your face.
Beyond.
Who does that?
Yeah.
And at the time, what did they say? It was in the 60s, 70s, or something like that. They're just using these new terms, around serial killers or serial sex offenders. Like the terminology that is here now used every day was just being developed at that time. So they really didn't know what to call it. But even for the mother and father, though, to me, that was still like, how gullible. He tested his not to say his manhood, he just tested him. Like, he knew that there was a high probability that he would be able to win him over, and he was weak.
This man has perfected the skill of honing in on people's weaknesses.
Yes, and using
to the 10th degree.
He's a manipulator,
and using
master.
it to facilitate whatever the fuck he wants from you.
He is a master facilitator, a manipulator.
Period.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. First of all, I was disgusted at the parents, and I really gave props to the victim because she said that she forgave her parents and they have a relationship, and I have to give her props. I don't know if I could have bounced back from something like that. Because you know my story, and we are just that whole thing, I almost was like, is this real? I can't believe. Yeah. I'm just like, oh my gosh. Like, I felt bad for everybody. Like, he knew how to get at them. He got them. He got them.
Jeez, that was terrible.
Without a shadow of doubt.
It was really disgusting. Like,
to the point where they went, remember when they went to the police station and signed a affidavit stating that they were aware that the man was going to take the daughter out of this country.
Right.
He convinced them to go to the police. Wendy, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
I get so upset.
And because the thing is, he had already had them both by the balls. Yeah. Literally. Yeah. Because
they're having an affair.
They're having an affair.
With him. Oh my God.
So who you gonna tell?
Who you gonna tell?
Who you gonna tell?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
We going to Mexico.
Right.
I'm gonna make it back.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened.
That's exactly.
And it sounds that
happened.
simple, like we're just chopping it down to nothing. But really, that was a sad case. It seems so extreme to me, but very sad. God. You know, but again, I don't think that's typical of most situations. No. It certainly wasn't typical of yours. No. It wasn't typical of any of these people that we spoke with or heard from, I should say, at the event. I didn't hear nothing like that. Yeah. I heard there were promiscuous teenagers. There was, of course, manipulative men.
Yeah, brothers.
But not to the extent where mom and dad are involved. And it's just this whole, it's sick to say, like this whole, I don't even want to say it.
Like an ancestral infection of incest. Yeah. Yeah. It's convoluted and it's nasty.
That was very extreme to me. So yeah, that's not the norm.
No.
But it's still happening. But it's not, just to say that it's not always that blatant, it's hidden. Yeah. It's hidden and hidden really well. And it's difficult for a lot of people to come forward for a number of reasons. The families may want to keep a secret, or someone may know, but just the parents maybe or grandparents may know, but they don't want to move forward because they don't want to expose this nasty family secret. It could be people who are extremely religious. They feel like if they give it to God, that it'll heal itself. It'll go away,
and God will forgive him, and that's the ultimate judge.
Right? They can move on from that. Judgment.
Yeah.
Feeling judged by their friends, thinking that in some way that they brought it on themselves, because a lot of times the victims are blamed. Yeah. It could just be so many different reasons why people don't want to come forward. And you see a lot of bias in how people treat, especially Black women. You saw it in R. Kelly's case where when they went to court, one of the jurors even said because they were Black.
Yes. He said, I just didn't like how she looked. That's what he said.
That right there keeps us from winning cases. That prejudice, that also stops women from, in the Black community specifically. Of course, it happens in every community, but we automatically have this bias against us. Yes. Are we going in the door with that bias, Black woman?
Right. Because the question is not, are you okay? It's, what did you do?
Right.
And that's a problem.
Right.
That's a problem.
That's a huge problem.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's scary. It's scary for a lot of people because now you feel like you could potentially be a target because who's going to believe it?
Right.
Which is why, of course, people, a lot of times you'll see it in comments on social media where people will say, well, what if it was a white girl? Even I kind of hate when you make comparisons like that because let's just focus on what's going on right now. Right. We know that it's out there, so you don't even have to draw the what ifs to take away from this victim. Like, let's focus on this person, what's going on right now, doing what we can to stop. I personally don't feel like the comparisons are needed. But of course, there's definitely a difference between how the two are treated.
Yes.
How it's responded
and how the media also handles it as well.
Exactly. You know, it's a lot that goes on that stops people from wanting to come forward to, if they do, they're not seeing enough justice prevail. So this like, for what?
Right.
What's the big deal?
Right.
Who cares?
Right. And then people get violent. Retaliation.
Violence.
You know, retaliation, and then it's a vicious cycle.
Yeah, it is.
It's a vicious cycle.
Yeah, it's just important, if not for anything, that at least victims don't feel like it's their fault, because obviously, it has nothing to do.
You shouldn't be afraid to come forward and speak your truth, no matter what it is.
Yeah.
No matter what it is, you should never be afraid to come forward and speak your truth. And we have to change the culture of this, of each other, of how we interact, of how we handle each other. We have to change that dynamic because we are not creating a conducive platform for people to comfortably come out and say, this is my situation.
Yeah, this happened.
Without them feeling judged, you know, without them feeling as though that they're going to be blamed or the finger's going to be pointed. If this is a genuine situation, if this is really what happened to that person, can you imagine how destructive that is?
Yeah, I can.
So you're hurting because of the physical that actually happened to you, on top of dealing with the fact of being blamed for it. So then you start to almost question, well, is it really my fault?
Did you feel that way? Were you ever blamed?
No, I can't say that I ever heard anyone, and I just probably in the past 3 years physically came out and told my mom and my family what happened. Before that, it was maybe my partners and of course you.
Yeah. Do you want to skip over the backstory and focus on how you felt, or do you want to give background?
So I can give the background.
Okay. So what happened?
So I was sexually abused by my aunt. Yeah.
So
it started when I was very young. And it lasted for a really long time. And what's crazy is when you're an abuser for such a long period of time, you develop a relationship with the person that's abusing you. And it becomes a romantic relationship, which is crazy, but it's what happens.
And it's something that has been consistent in a lot of stories when you hear victims coming out, especially when it's been a situation where there's years or months that have gone by. People wonder, well, why at this point haven't they stopped? But as you said, a relationship develops, you know.
I can remember there being times where I initiated it. I don't know why I did. But I do remember. I remember having that happening, and for a while, and even when I was an adult, and I was in a relationship with a woman at the time, and we have a house in Jamaica, a family house in Jamaica that she lives in. And I remember when we went to visit Jamaica, I was with this person, and I brought her to the house because I know she loved the view and the country and everything. And I remember we had the bedroom downstairs, and this aunt, like, she was trying to push up on me. And I just remember looking at her like, really?
As an adult?
As an adult. Yeah. That was weird for me.
How long ago was that?
It was when I was with Mel.
That's who I thought you were talking about.
Yeah.
Wow, that's deep.
Yeah.
That's deep. So what do you think the impact?
Oh, man. I'm still dealing with it. You know, this is the first time that I've publicly spoken up about it. I've actually said it. And it feels weird, but I'm okay. I'm okay with it. It's my truth. Whether you like me or you don't like me, you know, this part of my history is a reason of why I am who I am. I know that a lot of my personality is deflecting. You know, I like to deflect from a lot of my darkness, you know, so it's a constant struggle.
That's part of the impact of the abuse.
Oh, absolutely. It's a constant struggle. And I'm realizing that you have to get professional help, which is where I'm at right now. Again, let me take it back, because I've been reading and doing a lot of research, and for everyone it's different. You know, whatever works for you. I personally am realizing that I need professional help. I do. Because it's rolling over into other aspects and areas of my life. I'm starting to make my pain other people's problem. And when you start doing that, that's when you have to be like, you need to take a stock and say, okay, Jodie, stop. You know, you're going to push everybody away. You're going to be alone, and you're going to get into an even darker place, and who knows what can happen when you go there.
Yeah, you know, a lot of people are going through that, and it's actually one of the things that I wanted to talk about, or for us to discuss, was how to heal. Or how do you get to that point where you know, you're going through, it seems like phases, you know, I don't know, I can only imagine. You know, you're going through phases, you get to the point, as you mentioned, where you're able to talk about it. Even if you talked about it to some people, even if it was, you know, a select few, you were able to talk about it. And then it got to a point where you felt the ability, the empower, whatever feeling it is that you're having, to say, you know what, I can take this a little bit further. I want to tell more people, especially the important people in my life, because I'm pretty sure it was scary having to tell your mom something like that, like close family.
I was angry, actually. I was angry. That conversation was very emotional. And, you know, I'm gonna be honest, I really don't like how it was received. That was difficult. And, you know, that makes it hard as well, you know, but I also, as a parent, can't imagine what they're going through. I would have felt like I failed my child, you know, so I think about that. And, you know, we've been able to actually slowly really build a relationship and move past it. And, you know, my mom, you know, we talk every couple of days, and, you know.
She's amazing.
Shut up. Okay.
What? Because
so let me tell you what my mother does.
Her mom loves me.
Yeah.
And
so
I love her.
Whatever. So let me tell you what my mother will do. So my mother will call me if I haven't spoken to her in a while, or if I didn't answer one of her calls. Hi, Jodie. Where have you been? I was just about to call Wendy.
Hey.
Can you imagine?
Thank you.
Can you imagine? So yeah. But yeah, so we're in a good place now, and I'm really happy about that. And I've just chosen to just really not discuss it anymore. I realize it's not their problem. I don't want to continue to make it their problem, because I've been doing that all these years. I need to own what it's doing to me, and seek help for myself. So that's what I'm doing. And, you know, this show and me making the decision to talk about it and make it public is a part of my healing. You know, it doesn't define me. I don't want it to define me anymore. I'm ready to heal. I'm ready to move on, because I know how amazing I am. And I can't even begin to imagine how more amazing and dope I'm going to be when I heal from this. You know?
How do you think same-sex assault played into your life, or did it?
So I'm going to be biased with this based on the statistics. You know, a lot of people say that, you know, if you're inclined to be that way, that you're going to be that way. I don't know. I sometimes wonder if I would be into women had I not been sexually abused by my aunt. And the older I get is the more I question it. It's not that I don't love women, I do,
right?
But is it because
if that has anything to do with
it?
Yeah,
like I mastered the art of cunnilingus at like 6. 6. Like I remember giving orgasms at 6. So I am very good at what I do. And and just naturally, because of who we are as human beings, you tend to lean towards what you're good at. And I think about that all the time. Did I lean towards this lifestyle because it's really all I know, and I know that I can please a person? Because when you're sexually abused at such a young age, everything is sexualized for you. I went about my life figuring how much sex I needed to have. Like that was always a part of the equation. Right. So you
it's a lot.
It fucks you up.
There's a lot. Again, I can only imagine how difficult it is to go through, this level, to go through these different phases and to get to the point where you can be healed and you can truly move forward. And like you said, you're getting help with it, which is great. If there are people that are going through it right now, there's things like the National Sexual Assault telephone hotline.
Which is amazing.
People
I think that's
can
so
call
great.
and get help, get connected to local health facilities in their areas, resources, someone to talk to, information just in general. You want to know what's going on. You've just been sexually assaulted. You may not be at a place where you can talk to your family or friends yet, and you need someone to talk to, but at the same time you need it to be confidential. Because you just need privacy. Like it's hard to face.
Right.
So you have a hotline like this available.
What I love about these hotlines and these programs and what they offer is that a lot of these websites will also share victim stories. And why I think that is so important is that a lot of times as a victim, you start to blame yourself so much that you almost question whether or not you were really sexually assaulted or if this was consensual, no matter what the age difference is or whatever. You start to question that. So it's
great to have resources like this, if
so
you're currently going
stories
through it or if you have gone through it in the past, wherever you are with it, to seek help in some way, shape, or form, and get to the point where you can hope to move on. So I was looking for some ways to heal. I hope, it's been said by some who've given their stories and talked about it, that there are ways to heal and that they have healed and they have been able to move on and have healthy sexual relationships without feeling victimized or feeling like they cannot trust their partner, or
all the baggage that comes with it. The baggage that comes with it. Because again, it's going to look different based on what the experience was for you. It's going to look different for everyone.
So it's a lot that women have gone through, but some have found ways to heal. So on Cosmopolitan, there were 15 things that were noted as 15 ways to heal after experiencing sexual assault. One of them, feel all your feelings without shame. Not feeling that you are to blame. You shouldn't be ashamed of what happened to you. It happened to you. You didn't do it to yourself. So you have to find a way to not feel what's going on, because obviously something happened to you, but
don't feel as though it's your fault.
Knowing it's not your fault.
Don't feel it's not your fault. Don't wallow in that. Don't question that. Don't have that dialogue with yourself. Don't even consider it. Just take that from your thought process. This is not your fault.
And it goes into the second one, which is showing compassion for yourself. Compassion for yourself. Again, feelings, disconnecting, trying to disconnect what happened and itself going through the feelings related to that and separating it from guilt.
So there's something that I'm really excited about. So March 17th on My Life Raw Real All the Way Live, we're actually going to be doing a show on sexual abuse. It's going to be a panel of women. Yeah. But there is a particular woman on there. Her name is Nikki, beautiful sister. And her and I had a conversation because we both shared our stories of sexual abuse. Right. And she says that what she did to help her to heal is she actually created a doll that represented her child self, herself as a child, which is when she was experiencing sexual abuse. And she says what she began to do is, after she created the doll, she, from scratch, she said she would have conversations with the doll, and she would reinforce her love to the doll, tell the doll it's going to be okay, because that was her helping her to heal her child self. Now, for people that are very spiritual, you can maybe connect to something like that. I thought that was amazing. I thought that it was simple, but yet if you're somebody that has been abused, you can kind of see the value in helping your inner child to heal, because that's who was broken. That's who was broken. So I'm super excited about this show, March 17th. If you guys go to the website on @the TV Takeover 876 on Facebook, you would be able to get more information on that show. But super excited about that. But yes, it's extremely, extremely important to forgive yourself.
And try to heal yourself and not heal without feeling guilty. Seeking professional help, that's another one. That's another thing. You talked about that. Wanting to seek professional help to, talk through what's going on, get help with understanding the emotions, the feelings, how to process it, what to do with it, and just to get it out.
Calling on family and friends.
Calling on friends, talking to people. You mentioned you've been able to talk to some of your partners in the past. That's one of the things. Talking to your partner about it and seeing if your partner would be willing to go to counseling with you. That's something you can do. Listen to what's going on in your mind, not being afraid of those thoughts and really trying to get at what's going on with you and your feelings. Reading books help. Understanding what your triggers are.
That's extremely important.
What are some things that set you off?
That's extremely important. I can speak to that. So I actually, as a result of my sexual abuse, have a legit phobia that I did not realize was related to my sexual abuse until I went to therapy some years back. So that's legit.
It's important to understand it and not ignore your feelings. That's another one. Not ignore your feelings that come with those triggers. Because it's important to understand, one, what it is. If you're by yourself, then you understand your triggers. But also, if you're with a partner, it's important that you know what they are so you can share it with them. They understand what's going on.
And can be sensitive to it. Understand
it and understand, okay, if this happens, you know what? This is probably what she's going through. This is a trigger for her. Let me back off, or let me love on her. Whatever it is that your love language is, or whatever it is that you need them to do for you when those triggers happen, just to kind of have those conversations so everyone is aligned.
Absolutely.
Make a safe list. People, should know what their boundaries are with you. And you should have an understanding of what your boundaries are, because you don't want to feel violated, because it's easy. I'm pretty sure it would be easy to feel violated
and
again.
You can't make other people responsible for your pain. Especially if you're not sharing with folks and letting people know kind of what's going on with you. You cannot make that. And when I say make them responsible for your pain, I mean in your actions and the things that you do and how you treat people. That's a part of making them responsible for your pain.
Right. Yeah, again, it's a lot. It's a lot to process. It's a lot to understand as well, especially if there is, a partner there who's trying to understand everything that's going on with you. You've lived with it for however long you've lived with it, but now here I am entering your life, and I'm trying to learn you. I'm trying to understand what's going on.
And most of the time, the victim himself is still trying to figure it out.
That too.
Because I'm still trying to figure it out.
That too.
I'm learning things about this, and the more that I talk about it, the more that I have these sessions, is the more that I am learning that, wow, these things are correlated. These behaviors are correlated.
I mean, you definitely come first in the equation, just really trying to make sure that you have an understanding of what's going on with you. Another one, pursue pleasure. Don't feel like you have to drown in that sorrow and drown in what happened to you, try to find happy moments and what makes you happy. Practicing saying no. That's another thing. You know, if this doesn't make you
know,
you
that's
happy,
why I travel. It's the biggest distraction for me. That's why I travel so much. That's why it's so important to me to be able to have a lifestyle that allows me to travel so much, because it's literally, for me, my peace. It's my peace. So
yeah. And also, you know, when you have good times, celebrate those good times. You know, try to you know, move forward and create relationships. Hopefully, you know, a partnership with someone where you can have, you know, pleasurable encounters with them, and, you know, and not feeling that you're, you know, you don't want to be touched, or, you know, just feeling victimized, trying to move past that. And when you do have those moments where things are going well, you know, feeling good in those moments and celebrating it. So there's a number of different things that people can do or are encouraged to do to heal. But again, I can't even imagine what it's like in the process of healing and you know, what people go through. Yeah.
I wanted to talk a little bit about something that is absolutely not recognized as much as it should be. There's definitely not a lot of resources, I don't think, out there for this as it should be. But I'm talking specifically about sexual abuse amongst male. Research documented that actually 1 in 6 boys will have been sexually abused by the time that they're 18.
That's alarming.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That is a lot. That is a lot. Unfortunately, there are so many cultures out there that still openly endorse and make it an issue or a problem, or they question your masculinity in the event that you were to come forward with something like this. And it's sad, and the things that a lot of these behaviors, a lot of these things that we see men doing, and we question it and we wonder, why are you this way, or why is it you have to be that way? Not once, or a lot of times, because we had a show last week, niggas ain't shit, which sometimes niggas really aren't shit, but in a lot of instances they may have been through some things that have them completely fucked.
They may have been through some shit.
They may have been through. This man maybe questioning his sexuality, because for 10 years he was being sexually abused by an uncle. Like, you have no idea. No idea. So anyway, I wanted to touch on that because I did, during our research for the show, find something called organization called Male Survivor .org. They offer support and resources to male that are sexual assault survivors, also their families and the allies.
This is important.
It is.
Especially for us in particular, because we have boys. You know, and it wasn't planned because it was around this subject, but we happened to be watching TV. I love Law and Order, SVU. We happened to be on TV. The victim in this case was a kid. He was there. My niece was there at the time. So I took that moment to talk to them about what's appropriate touching and what's inappropriate touching.
Absolutely.
And in that moment, he had a discussion with me, and talked about what he felt was appropriate touching of another adult. So yes, you're right. That is correct. That would be appropriate. Yeah. But inappropriate is if they touch you here, your private parts, things of that nature. And, was more, of course, direct about what those parts are. Right. And having, the strength to come to me, to talk to me
no
about
matter what they tell you, what they threaten you with.
Exactly. Yeah. No matter what, because they'll say this, they'll say that, those things and those conversations. And it's important. It's important to talk to boys about this, because as, again, you're finding that there are boys a lot of time are left out of the discussion. They are. And it's bad enough. I mean, the victims are ashamed, but this is another layer, another reason why people don't come forward, looking at boys and how they're treated. Yep. So why they don't want to come forward. Absolutely.
Healing can only be facilitated when victims are able to find support and understanding during their recovery. So I wanted to touch on something that I think is extremely important, and both of us as parents are talking to people about the signs to look out for to protect your children.
Yeah.
I do know that in a lot of situations, in a lot of homes, because of financial issues, that they have no choice but to rely on friends and family to, watch their children.
Right.
And I understand that that may be avoidable. However, what you need to ensure that you're doing is you're having conversations with your children,
right,
and you're being very direct with them.
Right.
I did that with my son. Even when he would come home from his grandparents' homes, did anybody touch you in your butt? Did anybody touch you on your penis? Did anybody put their mouth on your penis? Like, I was very, very, and some people may not agree with that approach, but I was very direct with him. I need you to understand, my son, I need you to understand that this type of touching is not acceptable.
Right.
No matter what anybody tells you, nobody's going to hurt mommy. Mommy's crazy. Nobody wants to mess with me.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I have those conversations with him. I was really real with him, because if you do find yourself in a situation where it's unavoidable and you need people to rely on watching your kids, you need to have your those potential sexual abusers petrified to fuck with your kid.
Exactly.
He's going to squeal.
Exactly.
He's going to run and tell. He's probably going to fight. He's going to give him a hard time.
Yeah.
So you need to build your kids up, make them strong enough to be that kid that no offender want to fuck with, because it's just too much noise.
Just as long as you figure out what's going to work best for your family, live and direct, kind of works for both of us. Although I'm probably not as direct, but meaning not with that tone, not with that, that tone specifically, but very direct in what they can and cannot touch.
Yeah.
So having those conversations are important, because again, we don't want boys to be left out. We want them to feel empowered.
Yeah.
We want them to know that they are protected and people have their back.
Yeah.
A lot of times you hear when people are talking about abuse, again, a lot of times the focus is on girls, and forgetting that boys also go through and experience these same things. It could even be family households that have boys and girls. The conversation is had with the girls, but the boys are forgotten.
Right.
And they're in these organizations, or a lot of times you hear about things happening at school or being a part of some sort of club. I mean, it can happen anywhere, but it happens is the point. It happens. And we want to make sure that even though they're in places where you probably think abuse isn't happening, because
have those
they're
conversations.
At basketball camp, or they're in football camp, but
that's where it happens
for these boys.
That's where it happens.
That's where it's happening for them. You have to let them know. I've even said about their coach, because my kid has a coach. They have coaches. I say specifically your coach, because you have to think about it. They're in intimate settings with these kids,
they are.
Especially if they're changing.
They are.
So they have to know. You have to be conscious of what's going on and making sure that you're having these conversations. Obviously it can happen anywhere, but you want to know where it's more likely to happen and ensure that conversation, if nothing else, is had where it's more likely to happen.
Absolutely.
To create obviously the conversation won't prevent it, but you need to create awareness so that people are on the look for it. Again, obviously you can be as prepared as you want to be, and something can still happen to you. It's not to say that it can't happen. However, it's just just being a little bit more aware.
What I want us to make sure that I would be remiss if I did not say this specifically. Kudos to the families that are having those conversations about strangers. But I need you to also find a way to have those conversations about even people that they may know and people that they should trust. Because a very large percentage of sexual abuse comes from right within the homes. You single ladies out there, if you are in a relationship with a guy and he is just super, super, super anxious, and over the top with your children, wanting to do stuff with your children, buying presents with your children, you need to pay attention to those things.
I was in a situation where someone was pushing up on my kid, and I was like, it was actually Shy. When he first met Zaire, we had this party at the house. He came over, him being who he is, which is a great father. He took to Zaire in that moment, that day, first time meeting him. And there got to a point where he put him on his lap, and immediately as I saw him touch his lap, I was like, you have to go. And I kicked him out immediately. Immediately put him out. He was like, oh my God. Well, I said, take your chicken. We had a KFC that night. I said, take your chicken and go. You have to go. You have crossed the line. You have crossed the line. Okay, I don't give a fuck what you trying to do. We don't do that over here. You got to go. So this happens to be a great dad. He does. My bad. However, you have to be that vigilant.
You do.
You have to
because
be that
you
vigilant.
don't know if
because
he's
you
going
don't
to be
know.
that.
I don't know.
And to be honest with you, let me tell you this: if anybody has a problem with you doing that, don't trust them,
right?
Because a good parent,
right,
someone that has genuine intentions and understands this, will understand why you make the decision that you made. They would respect why you made the decision that you made, and would probably or should probably make the decision themselves. So that all of those are things that you need to pay attention to.
Absolutely.
All of those things are things you need to pay attention to.
Because as you said, a lot of times, look, in your situation, I mean, there's so many more times than not. It's happening right in the households, aunts' houses. You know, an aunt may have a new boyfriend. You're going over there to stay the night, and next thing you know, this new boyfriend, who's technically not family, is, may have some, exposure and ability, opportunity to take advantage of someone. Absolutely. So, I mean, there's so many ways, but again, these are common.
Like whatever it is that you want. If you know you want a particular type of dress, you know what store to go to. Right. You're going to go to the store that's going to have that particular dress. Right. These men are going to prey on the perfect or the ideal situations to have access to these children. Right. So these single mothers with 2 or 3 kids, especially if they have, a little bit of money, they'll come to them and they'll distract them with the money. Yeah. They'll distract them with the money because they're taking care of them, giving them a life that they've never had. And a lot of times, subconsciously, these moms look the other way. Yeah. They look the other way because in their minds, they're saying, you know what? If you don't do this, we're going to be worse off. So if this is what it takes for us to be okay, I'm just going to turn another up. And there's a lot of people in those situations.
It's difficult.
There's a lot of people in those situations.
It's hard to hear, and it's sad to hear that people have to make those sort of decisions.
Devastating.
Those sort of decisions in life. That's truly devastating.
Yeah.
So, I mean, was there anything else that you wanted to add about?
No, I think this was good. This was, I didn't know how this was going to go for me, because this is a first for me, and this hurts. I'm dealing with this every day, but I'm glad. I feel like I opened some things up. I'm ready to take it to the next level, and I also hope that I help some people out there.
Yeah, I'm glad that you did this.
Thank you.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
You talked about it.
I did.
We've been proud. We didn't speak on it directly prior to, but
but what it means to me.
You seem to be comfortable enough to talk about it.
Yeah.
I'm happy you were able to do that.
I challenge myself. I think it's important. And I challenge you guys too. I challenge you women out there to, first of all, admit that, yes, your sexual abuse is still fucking with you, and it's okay. Admit it. It's okay to admit that it's still fucking with you, because it probably is. Right. But go and seek some help.
Seek help. That's the most important thing.
And if you cannot afford to see a therapist, because a lot of times that's the reason a lot of people don't go to a therapist. First of all, exhaust all of your options.
There's online groups.
There's online groups as well. There's a lot of actually free things out there, free sessions out there that are available to people that they can sit and they can discuss.
Sexual abuse hotline, right?
The hotline as well. Right. Yeah. So I want to encourage women to, be strong in 2019. Take your life back. Yes. Take your life back. But thank you. This was great.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Thank you guys for watching. Yeah. We hoped really and truly that someone learn something from this.
I do.
So thank you guys so much.
So where can they find us? Every single Thursday night.
Every Thursday night, 8:30
p.m. on YouTube. Yes. On Facebook. We also are on SoundCloud. Shout out to SoundCloud. Hey y'all, I know you can't see how cute we looking all, but today we had on robes because it was kind of chilly.
Very chilly in here. I'm gonna need a robe, please. Thank you.
But so thank you guys so much. Again, every single Thursday here on YouTube, Facebook, SoundCloud. I said that already.
And Google Podcasts.
Did
we say iTunes?
Did we say iTunes? We said it now.
Look, we everywhere.
We everywhere. We're
so
everywhere. Subscribe.
Yes, so you don't miss out. You don't miss out every week. So thank you guys. I want to end by saying that this is my birthday month.
Oh God.
Officially, February, my birthday month. This is what the red hair is about. This is what the nails are about.
Yes. We're going to
have a great weekend.
Oh, we're celebrating.
And we're going to try to remember to film some of it for you guys.
Yeah. Oh, we're going to film? Yeah. You going to let me film? Yay.
Possibly. Some of it. whatever I approve. So,
okay. Right.
So yeah, so we have.
I'm excited.
I hope you guys have a lot to look forward to.
Yeah.
To next Thursday. So make sure you tune in.
The party starts Thursday night, and will probably end about Monday morning early. Wow. It's going to be a good week.
It's going to be a great week.
Yeah. We're celebrating the bestie.
Yes.
I'm excited.
Yes. So thank you guys.
Thank you guys.
Bye.